Welcome back. Yeah, man, this video right here just gonna be a quick little update video of what's going on at the camp. We got your girl, Kennel, and some Kennel's Bloody Mary over here. Positive she caught. Like I said, she just starting to swell up. This dog was bred to Dino. If anybody who ever watched the video and seen who I took this girl to, I bred her back with Dino, and this some heavy Chinaman. Back to some Red Boy, to some Eli, back to some heavy Gardeners, and a little balls on the backside of her pigs as well. But like I said, this girl, like I said, she should be dropping in within the next, I'd say another 3 weeks at the most, you know what I mean? Like I said, she done started swelling up a little bit, slowing down. She normally be an active dog all over the place, but she done actually started sitting back, just slowing down a little bit. So that's a good sign, you know what I mean? That means she, like I said, pregnant for one, and for two, that means, like I said, she getting home up into the state, you know what I mean, where the baby's starting to cook and everything. So this girl right here definitely has caught, I got the pups in the house, man. They look extremely great, I'm just one happy dog, man, right now, man. Like I said, I got the bunny litter. Just insanely fire. I'll be giving updates of those next video and showing those, like I said, probably next video as far as in its Yoda's pup. I've been here doing a little snippet here, snippet there, but I need to go and get a video of them and just show people how nice the old pups turned out, We got a whole lot to show y'all, like I said, a whole lot to talk about. Here is just the first part of this video. I'm not gonna bother this girl too long, I just want to show people that she has caught, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm definitely want to keep me 2 females out this breed, and everything else pretty much gonna be for the public, These pups will be ranging anywhere from between 12 to 13 to 11, it depends on the size of the litter, you know what I mean, and just the quality of pups, which I got a feeling, she's gonna put it down, This should be another breeding for the books. But we're gonna head back over here, like I said, to the other side of the yard, and I'm gonna let this girl alone, let her sit back, and we'll continue this video. Yeah, welcome back. We're on the second part of this video, man. Like I said, I thought I'd start back over here, like I said, and because I ain't showed these dogs in a while. This old Caesar, he's a very, very active, high prey-driven dog, just a very, very rambunctious male, very, very nice, dog in itself, Like I said, put together by me, dad is Bishop, mom of Nova. Like I said, this hitman brother right here, very, very good dog. He done messed up his hardware. That's the only thing I pretty much dislike about a dog, like I said, like this, It got all pluses, but this one dislike I can't say for myself, Him and his brother both, like I said, they very discreet. So these dogs, they test stuff up, like I said, they dig a lot, like I said, chew on stuff a lot and mess their cutters up, That's not a trait that I really care for, But they got very, very hard mouths. Like I said, very, very good dogs, It's some of the best blood, that I can say this in my yard, And with that cross that I did, like I said, it was a 2-in-1 cross. Like I said, it's all bulldog. But yeah, like I said, my girl Coco, she had her litter. That's another thing I want to update people up on. Like I said, she had a very small litter, and they were very premature because I feel she had them kind of early, because she, like I said, she's a dog that, does a whole lot, that moves around a whole lot and just, get herself in all kinds of a mess. So, which I feel, like I said, she kind of forced the litter to come early, which she had, like I said, 4 pups, 2 stillborn, and 1 was on the ropes. But, 1 on the ropes as we speak, I can't say if he's going to pull through or not, but I got 1 pup that's off the litter that's very, very healthy. He's a little red male. If you follow me on my Instagram or Facebook, I post him on my story, but he's a very, very nice red male. He's gonna stay with me, like I said, most definitely, Like I said, because I was just looking to get me a nice male or female off that breed, and like I said, he's about the only pup that's doing good, so he's most definitely gonna stay with the camp. He's very, 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 very nice, But like I said, and Man, like she's a very, very hard to keep dog. So like I said, you know what I mean? I'm more than satisfied. So I'm gonna take that one pup, like I said, the first time I ever crossed, like I said, them two bloods back together. This her brother, you know, this old Kennel's 8 ball. He didn't pick up some little weight over the years, you know what I mean, due just to the me not, like I said, exercising them out or working them out a lot, you know what I mean? Because I have a lot going on at this moment, you know. But I'm gonna get him back to him. He's a very old dog as well, so you know, I'm not really trying to force nothing up on him heavy. Yeah. But like I said, but I got that one pup off the litter, man. He doing very good. Like I said, I already got a name in mind for him, you know what I mean? I pretty much a nice name up on him. Like I said, once he get a little older, but right now, I'm just more so sad, like I said, just happy, like I said, that, you know what I mean? I got all these litters that's looking so screaming nice. I mean, just very, very, very great dogs. You know, this dog right here is for what I was just saying. You see how he get down. Like I said, he done dug him a whole ditch out here, you know what I mean? But that's all he do now since he done messed the cutters up big all day. These dogs love to work, man. I'm talking like these are workaholic dogs, you know what I mean? That's something that I love about the blood, but at the same time, you know, like I said, it's kind of a flaw. You know what I mean? I wish I would have stopped them in the early stage and just getting on them a lot more because you can kind of control them a little bit, but it's hard to stop them because they always going to find something to do. You know what I mean? But it's old Hitman right here. Remember last year he was getting sick, but he looking very, very good and hit a whole turnaround. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I said, all these dogs, like I said, you know what I mean, they pretty much what they out in the show besides 8 ball in the back, you know what I mean? They pretty much related. These are Hitman kids off the Cherry and Hitman breed. When I say these pups came out so screaming that nice, just, you know what I mean, all around bulldogs and yourself, you know what I mean? I'm so satisfied with every pup off that breed. Like I said, you know what I mean? These are dogs, you know what I mean, that are forever be in my camp. Like I said, as long as I do dogs, you know what I mean? I love the blood. I run the blood. I mean, you could take this blood and create some next level dogs with these dogs, you know what I mean? These girls still young right now, so like I said, so they still in their little puppy phases, you know what I mean? But when I say driven to the third degree, man, these dogs are driven, man. I mean, these dogs are the idea of what you want, like I said, your dog to be, like I said, man. They very in shape, very nice athletic dogs. Yeah. And they got, I'm talking mouths out the game, you know what I mean? It ain't just like I said, them being athletic that I like, you know what I mean? They got all the traits in the bulldog that I like. Yeah. But yeah, man, I just want to hit y'all with an update. Like I said, later on in this week, man, I will be doing y'all a good update as well as, like I said, the pups. You know what I mean? When I say these pups are the best, I mean, probably some of the best work that I done put out. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not just saying this just because they my dogs. You know what I mean? I'm very extremely proud of these litters that I got. You know what I mean? They next level, man. Everything, like I said, that I said from now on out should be next level because, you know what I mean, I do very strategic breeds. Like I said, I don't just breed for no bull crap, you know what I mean, like I said. Which, like I said, down the line, you know what I mean, I don't know, like I said, if people not getting with, like I said, with it the way that I'm with it, you know what I mean, I might create, like I said, just some working man breeds that I just some stuff that I'm just trying out just to keep the prices the way they are and just to keep things moving. But it's not nothing I really worry about with these dogs, you know what I mean? Like, if you got eyes, you know what I mean? If you got a brain, these dogs speak for themselves, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like to even do too much convincing, you know what I mean? I just like to show them off, you know what I mean? And show people the type of caliber dogs that I'm producing, you know what I mean? This is a brother to them pups right here. When I say very driven, nice little male, like I said, these dogs, they got very high prey drives and they very intense dogs, you know what I mean? I'm talking miles out the game. Let me let this boy work out on his ball, like I said, because I want to show him on his little ball that I got him. Get down, boy, get down. Yeah, you gotta calm him down sometimes because they be so hyping and tied up on everything. Hey, son! They think anything is to go bite. What you doing with it, boy? What you doing with it, man? Hey, son! Hey! Let me get a hold of it and watch this boy. What you doing, man? What you doing, man? Very little rough pup, you know what I mean? Hey, son! What you doing, man? You better bust him up. You better bust him up, son. Yeah, he a very little rough joker, man. Yeah, they're a little over a year old, you know what I mean? Still pups, but you know what I mean? The signs and the potential is already there, you know what I mean? I just know, like I said, these gonna be the ones, you know what I mean? They're gonna change the game for me in a whole different light. That little red pup at the house, I'm expecting highly of him as well. It's the same as the Bloody Mary litter, as far as my American Pit Bull Terriers, you know what I mean? I'm talking like these are the next level dogs that you know what I mean that I've been waiting, like I said, just to have in my hands, you know what I mean, and be able to create, you know what I mean. It only get better from here, you know what I mean. When you got product like this, it's not hard to create what you're trying to create, you know what I mean. Like I said, you just gotta continue to go in the right direction. That's why I say I breed, like I said, only intentionally, you know what I mean. I don't breed just nothing that I don't really care for, you know what I mean, that I feel like it's not gonna meet my expectations, you know what I mean. Yeah. But this boy, hard mouth old Kennel Kennel's bell right here, you know what I mean? I'm gonna let him work that on out. And I'm gonna go and get over here. Work you something down, son. Eat my turkeys over here in the cut as well. Yeah. I think I got a male and a female. They done got very, very big. I think that big one is a male and the other one's a female. I'm gonna be buying me an incubator next year. Like I said, just trying to go ahead and get, you know what I mean, get me some babies up on the ground so I can start raising as well, putting them in the box. That's old Bishop. I had to put some oil on him, like I said, because his fur kind of got bad due to that heat this year. And last but not least of this video, you know what I mean, this is my boy, Kennel Bruno right here, you know what I mean. Very, very nice dog. Another, like I said, high driven, hard mouth, like I said, I mean, bred tight to produce type of hound, you know what I mean, that I got that I'll be putting back into the program later down the line as well. You know, I'm letting him be a pup right now, trying to see more of him, but he's showing me better traits as the days go by, you know what I mean. He's starting to actually act like a grown dog, you know what I mean. I know what his bred like, you know what I mean. Mouth, I mean, athletic, drive, everything is there, you know what I mean. I'm just letting him mature and be a pup right now. That's all talk. But we finna get out of here, man. Like I said, it was just a video for y'all. Like I said, a good little update. Man, like I said, I still got the pups off of Bunny. They taking deposits now. The deposits is $5. I do $400 deposits on Bunnies, and like I said, on Yoda and Banks pups, those are $1,000 deposits. You know what I mean? Next level pups. I mean, something that you'll love to have as a family companion, something that you'll love to put on your yard, man. Like I said, even if you just, like I said, trying to upgrade your program, man. Next level dogs. If you're interested, hit me up on Facebook or Instagram, man. We out. Y'all stay blessed.